Alrighty, testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? Okay, okay. Alrighty, good, good. Okay, everything's working now. Alrighty, how y'all doing out there? Thank you for everybody for coming in and joining us on this first day of class. This is it's pretty awesome. Well, let me get my camera and everything together. I'm working with this OBS and getting everything kind of set up. I don't know if y'all can see me. I think it's streaming right. Okay, hold on, there I go. Okay. Alrighty. So, looks good. You say you can't see me? Okay, let me fix that. Well, move right here, I guess. Can y'all see the little moving? Okay. Alrighty. It's a little lag on here, so it's a delay, so forgive me. Also, I might be a little slow. Okay. So, welcome y'all. Welcome everybody for joining today. I I want to start by saying thank everybody. This is pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's pretty cool how this came out of nowhere, and I want to also give a special thank you to Dr. Barlow for starting this. I mean, this is amazing. You have basically created something unbeknownst to you. That you what you were doing, you created something that was very amazing, and it's going to help a lot of people. It's so many different courses. I myself, I'm in different courses because I just like, man, there's so many different things I want to learn. I joined a metaphysics course. It's a couple other ones I locked into. I just got a chance to download the actual what they call the Hamilton talk. Also, yes, go Panthers, because that's what that whole setup with everybody's doing. And I want to thank all the people in the Hamilton talk. Y'all doing some amazing work right now, and it's dope with all y'all set up. But I downloaded the spreadsheet, and I didn't even know the extent to what this thing has grown to. I just kind of jumped on the trend, and I got a little background in blockchain technology. I went through a couple courses. This been following it for some years. I did some mining back in the day when Bitcoin first popped off. I was a big advocate of it, so I kind of just been following along with what's been going on, and also basically developing a DAO for our community and to help us build things. So this right here helped me out tremendous by teaching this to our people, and there's so many different other courses and everything that's going on. So this is pretty dope what she has basically created. you know, all praise to the Most High. This is a beautiful thing. But let's get back on the topic, or get back on the main discussion of what we're doing today, and it is blockchain technology basically. So we're going to be focusing on the key concepts of block technology. Uh, the understanding of the technology is the foundation for you to really participate with the technology. Because if you really don't understand the technology, you basically just shooting in the dark. So that's something that you really want to get a foundation of how this stuff works, and the principles and things like that. So what I'm going to be focusing on is the key concepts, and basically breaking down. The first thing is really kind of what is a block. So a block, basically, give you a simple term or a simple definition. Excuse me. I mean, a simple definition is basically it's a data. So it's just a little bit of data in it. Basically, that's basically what a block is, to kind of give you. And different blockchains have different data, and how everything is set up, and it's also how it's what they call the consensus, or the proof of work, or the proof of stake, how they decide on how a block is developed and how everything works out. It's also different. It's a lot of intricate aspects to it. I don't want to dig too deep, and I just really want to get the foundation for it. So I'll get to going all night and showing all kind of slides and all that type of stuff. But let's go with this first port right here. So the presentation is going to cover the fundamentals, concepts of exploring the history and cryptograph foundation, and the potential empowerment for our community. That's really the main focus. My whole platform, what I'm creating with Support Buying Black DAO, is basically focusing on that aspect of how it can help our community, and also how it can help our small black businesses. So that's what my platform is all about, and I'm gonna be talking about that later down the line with everything. But let's get to this next slide. So what is a blockchain? So I mentioned what a block was, just a little bit of data. So it's really a lot of data, but it's basically, a block is just bunch of data that's kind of set up. So the distributed ledger aspect of it makes the chain part. So I'm going to give you an example real quick so you can see. But let me read this real quick. So, well, let's go ahead and go to the example first. So this right here is a blockchain, and let me see if I can. So y'all can. I don't know if y'all got that, but I just sent a. I don't know if it's gonna come through, but I'm gonna put actually. Let me put it in the Discord. Also, I gotta get the Discord one going too. Second, my bad. Let's start the Discord. All right, so if you're on the Discord, you can actually see some things, and I'm going to actually post the links in the Discord so you guys can actually have this information. So I'm going to put in a general discussion. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, I put it in the, hold on, let me put this over here so y'all can see what I'm doing. So this is our Discord. So if you haven't joined yet, basically this is where all the lessons in the class and the course and everything is going to go. I should have made a video about this a long time ago, but everything's kind of moving fast, so I'm trying to do the best I can. It's a lot of stuff going on, but I kind of want to organize this stuff so people can go back and also have a place for us to discuss things, and also we're going to build things. By the end of this course, you're going to be able to basically build certain things. I'm gonna show you more things dealing with AI, so you really won't have to do a lot of the coding. So we're gonna do simple things dealing with smart contracts and building stuff, and you're really just gonna use the bots, or not chat bots, but chat GTP, or different. We're gonna use a tool called Cursor. That's basically, long story short. I'm sorry if I can't get to y'all comments. I get this. I gotta figure this thing out, y'all, because I'm not seeing the chat on here, and now I just messed up this thing. Yeah, I'm doing too much. Let me stop. I see the chat because I got my phone on, so I can see what y'all saying in the chat a little bit. But it's hard for me to respond while I'm on the computer and stuff. But on the Discord, I have better ability to do that. But let me put this link in here. So I also have the first class, and this right here is the demo. So this is a demo website of a blockchain, and this is what we're finna go over to break down. The first part is the hash, which basically what is the data. So like I said, I'm gonna try to chat with you guys and everything. And also in the Discord, can you guys hear me or not? If you can, raise your hand in there so I can see or not. Showing them my thing, everything's working on this side. But okay, so now let's get to the back to the block. So what is a block basically? A block, like I said, is basically data. And one of the key cores of blockchain is the hash, or hash algorithms. So this right here, the SHA-256 hash, is basically algorithm, a mathematical equation that's very complex, and it's hard for you to, it's impossible basically for anybody to solve this equation in a lifetime. It'll take you multiple lifetimes to just solve what this is. Now, as you can see right here, this hash in this section right here that has data, as you can see with a blank on it, it creates a hash. So if you just type anything like hi, you see the hash changed. And anything you type in there, you can put anything in there, whole paragraph, anything, article, anything, and it's going to give you a different hash depending on what you put in there. As you can see, when I put enter, it gives me a different hash. So now this is the encryption aspect of, or cryptograph basically, of the blockchain. This right here is a form of security aspect of it. We're going to get more deep into this, the cypherpunks and the history. Also, I'm going to put this we're going to go over that, but I'm going to put that in there for the, in the chat or the Discord for you guys to take a look at that. So to give you a little bit of small history, the cypherpunks were advocates of cryptograph, and basically, okay, hold on, I can put it in here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so, and then also here go the link, y'all, for, I got it working now, I figured out. So there's the link also for the blockchain demo. So you can actually do this along with me. So you can come in here and you can type in stuff and you can see how this first little section works. So now this is really one of the key cores, like I said, of the blockchain is the cryptograph, and the cypherpunks were basically cryptograph advocates. Basically, the history of them, it kind of breaks down in this this documentary basically that was created by Reason TV. It's a great documentary that kind of gives you the information about how it initially started out and stuff, or just the ideal of cryptograph and how it has transformed over this time, and also how Satoshi kind of brought the equation of what they refer to as the Byzantine general problem. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too, but let's get back to this hash. So now once you create a hash, now this right here, this hash, this algorithm, this is just one of many. There are multiple different types of hash algorithms. As you can see right here, these are different types of hash algorithms, and it's basically to kind of give you an understanding of it. A layman's term is it's kind of like putting one, like if you had A, B, C, and you put a number to every letter. This right there is a cryptograph, or what they refer to it. Now, on this level right here, it's more complex, and it's math. It's math added to it. It's just real detail to help with the security and the encryption of the whole aspect of the cryptograph, and that's what that part is for, dealing with the blockchain in the first little section. So now this right here, this next one, if you go to the next part, if you're following along on your computer or whatever, this next port right here, if you click up here at the top, is the hash, or the block. So the first port was the hash, the encryption, where you can get the hash, basically kind of you store the data. So like I said, a block is basically data. So now this block right here, you see it has a little bit more information into it. So it has the data. You can type in information, and as you can see, it turned red or whatever. I'm gonna kind of explain that a little bit, but basically it's the same aspect of the hash. So you basically has data in it. It also has this block data in it, and also has this nonce. So a nonce is basically just a random number, and it comes later down the line dealing with the mining aspect of building the blockchain and how everything is pushed along and everything goes. Yes, my Discord is in the bio. My bio link is the Discord. So also everybody that's coming in, thank y'all that's joining, and also thank y'all for the hearts and everything, and the likes. I appreciate this, and the gifts and everything. So all right, so the next port right here, this, like I said, this whole block is basically data. So this right here, this hash consists of all this data: the nonce, the block number, and the data, whatever it may be. Like I said, it can be an article, a paragraph. Like I'll grab an article real quick. Let me see the news. I don't know anything. All kind of stuff popping up. All drama. Alright, I should have known there's gonna be a bunch of Trump stuff. But basically, put all this stuff in here. You can throw all this in here, and it's gonna push out a whole different hash. So more information, and it's basically hash. Now, when you hit the mine aspect of it, it's basically figuring out what this nonce is. So a miner basically uses their computing power from their computer. And let me go back to the definition real quick so I can read this to you. So a distributed ledger maintained by multiple nodes, aka computers, or validators. So the validators on a blockchain basically make sure all the data and everything is aligned. It's a peer-to-peer network, and that's what this aspect right here gets into place, in which we're going to go a little bit more into. But maintained by multiple node computers across the network. Each node stores a copy of the entire ledger. So that's basically what the whole nonce port actually kind of follows along with. It's everybody building on this block and doing these algorithms to basically maintain the blocks and make sure everything runs properly and stuff like that, and basically getting rewarded for figuring out these algorithms and these equations on the blockchain basically. So as it keeps going, the peer-to-peer architecture aspect is basically the transactions and things like that. But I don't want to get too far because that's going to be the next part right here, was the block. So like I said, that information I just put in there, you can put any kind of information or data, video, all that type of stuff. And well, video not right now, but video is kind of more complex and deeper down the line with the courses and stuff. But this port, this data and everything like that, this can be anything. So when a miner is trying to figure out what this aspect is going to be, or what this hash is basically trying to figure out what this nonce. So you can change this nonce to any number, and it's going to give you a different hash. Now the nonce is basically, it correlates in a fashion, or is programmed in a fashion with the hash to basically alter or manipulate the hash. Now, you can figure out what the hash is to turn this green or mine it if you just keep doing it. Keep trying to figure out, okay, 8 isn't 1. Okay, let's do 111, 222. That's not it. You see, none of it makes it turn green because it's basically you're trying to figure out what it is. Now, a computer, what it does is it goes through this whole aspect of trying to figure out what this is. So it will run through all the numbers to figure out what this right here turns this basically this hash into the program was set up to being on this right here is particular 4 zeros. So that's how this hash was programmed out to have the 4 zeros and make sure everything is kind of set up like that. So what we're going to do when you hit mine, now it's going to run, as you can see, 72,608. That was the nonce that gave us the 4 zeros, how this hash was determined or programmed algorithmically to basically function. So that's what this port right here with this nonce does in correlation with the blockchain. So this right here is a block. So this whole, now every block has more deeper, obviously this is just an example, but this is the core aspect of a block and what it basically breaks down. Now the next port is when you get into the blockchain. And this right here is what it's pointing out with the ledger, a distributed ledger. That's basically what a blockchain is. Now that's what we're going to get into now with this. And as you can see right here, this is the same thing, but it's just a whole continuous of the block. And the key component of the blockchain, what makes it has to have a reference to the previous block. So this right here has a reference to this hash. So this is the first block, and the first block is normally known as the Genesis block. And this previous, or this next block, as you can see, it has all of it has the same information. The block number, it flows along with all of them, the whole aspect, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as the blocks being made. And this was already mined because you can see they found out the nonce for it. Somebody, say we hopped on here, we got to doing this doesn't have the tokens on it, but we put a token on the cryptocurrency on it basically. And we started doing transactions and it created the whole block and everything like that. So now we have the block. So this is already programmed on the block. This is what the blockchain is. It can be changed. It can be mutated or altered because in order for this next block to be formed, it has to find this nonce and it also has to correlate with this hash that has a reference to the first block. So this is what makes the blockchain secure, and it's also the mutability, the mutability aspect of the blockchain. So now, say if we went on here and we came down here and we changed this information. So now this whole hash, because more data has been put in here, so we changed this whole data. So what this was, it was cool when it was all, I think, everything was counted as the zero. So it's zero in all these data blocks. So all these blocks have nothing in them. So it was cool when how it already was mined was on there. But say it was altered, right? And somebody just put some more information in there. So now what this was at first, all this data right here has changed, which is has altered the rest of the blocks, or basically corrupted or broke the blockchain basically. So this right here is an issue, and we're going to get into how the distributed aspect of it kind of flows, and with the peer and everybody else having the digital ledger. Now remember, maintained by multiple nodes, multiple computers. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sorry for the screen. If you go to the Discord, you can actually have a better view of everything. And also, I don't know if on the TikTok, if you turn the screen full screen, that'll give you kind of a better. And I think you can zoom. Yeah, I'm on my phone with it too, so looking at it, so you can zoom with it. So, but if you click my bio link, it will show you you can get to the Discord, and basically you can get a better view if you have some kind of tablet or something like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this on YouTube later on. So after I'm recording this whole thing, this whole process, everything I'm breaking down, and I'm gonna add it to YouTube later on and chop these videos up and do the whole thing to get the word out and spread the education more. All right, so let's finish it. So, all right, back on here where we worked on this. So, like I said, if you change the data, it breaks the blockchain. So, as you can see, every one has a reference to the previous one. So now, say that we went in here and said hi, and we changed this first one. You see, it messed up all of them because now you have to mine this and figure what this out. Figure this out. So the Genesis block has to store, or it's basically just already programmed to kick off or whatever. But then next, every one of these has to mine to find the nonce to correlate with the previous hash and make sure everything works out right in building the blockchain basically. So you see every one, you have to mine every last one of them. And as you can see, it went like this one right here. This hash is the previous hash. This what makes it link and makes the connection. And this is the data aspect. So this data has to be in it. Like I said, all of this, the previous hash, the data in here, the nonce, and the block number is all inside this hash right here. That's what this data is. Like I said, the algorithm or hash is an algorithm or mathematical equation to push out all this data through this hash. Now we're gonna, I guess we can get a little bit deeper into it. So we go to the SHA-52. Well, no, yeah, because that's gonna take us down a rabbit hole. I'll do that later on because that's another topic to get deep into how this hash, because that's, yeah, this is a whole nother thing. It's a rabbit hole, and it gets you. It's just a lot of math in it, and I'm not the best at it at all. So I'm not professing to be any kind of expert or anything like that. But it's just a whole nother thing to get involved with. It's more than what we're gonna have in this hour. So, but like I said, so this right here, like I said, we have to mine every one of these to generate every one of these blocks to make sure they all lined up with the previous one and created the blockchain. So now this is a block. So like I said, it first starts out with the hash and the data. That's just the simplicity of it. And no block starts like this or goes like this, but these are the core ports that every one of them has. They have the data. And let me give you a more detailed breakdown. So now this port right here is the distributed port. So like I said, this right here is a security port, and this is really what the Byzantine problem was solved. What Satoshi Nakamoto basically solved. It was the whole in the crypto graph community, basically what was going on. So to kind of give you a little bit of understanding what the Byzantine general problem is, say that you have someone that you're trying to attack, basically, right? And the general wants to attack at the same time, because if you coordinate the attack, it leads to a victory. But say if someone like is a traitor or they don't want to, attack or anything like that, then it can lead to a defeat. So basically, it's how do you send a message, or how do you get a consensus? And that's what the consensus aspect of it breaks down. How do you get a consensus amongst your peers to agree on the same thing and to move forward with a yes or a no, or whatever it may be? But that's what the Byzantine problem talks about, and the Byzantine problem, the whole issue was, and that's what Satoshi Nakamoto basically solved with this whole system right here, basically. So now, and the first, like I said, the history started long before a lot of this stuff. So in the 1980s and the 90s or whatever, this whole cryptograph stuff, that was what the cypherpunks were, and that was the whole big thing. So this has been coming on for a long time. But this right here, this whole distributed aspect of it, this is the part that kind of Yotoshi solved. Well, he not kind of, but actually did solve, basically. So now, as you can see right here, this is the same thing as the blockchain, this distributed port. So now, every one of these, this right here, you see, they all line up, and they have all been mined already because it's green, so they're all good. They all are in agreement with one another. You see, so every last one of these, and we have a peer B, peer C, and so forth. These are basically individual nodes. That's basically what this port is right here. A distributed ledger maintains the multiple node computers across a network. Each node stores a copy of the entire ledger, enabling redundancy and resilience against single point of failures. So it's a distributed ledger. It's a multiple computers that have downloaded this ledger, and they all basically make sure that everything on this ledger is legit. That's basically how the aspect of it being trustless. So you don't have to trust me. I don't have to trust you. But I know on this smart contract, when we put it up here, or this when this smart contract was deployed, it has certain aspects and you can read it. So this is where the part it has to be. So with the smart contract, when you're looking up things and when you're researching stuff and you're looking at tokens and different projects or whatever, it has to be the key aspect of this you want to make sure is it's open source. It literally has to be open source, because if you cannot verify the code, you don't know. Now, certain aspects we can see on the blockchain, and you can make sure how everything works. But if you cannot verify the code, you don't know what they are doing in this chances of rug pulls. There's also aspects of the tokenomics where you have to lock tokens so if they won't run off with a bunch of tokens or cash them out and all that type of stuff. But this distributed ledger aspect, this makes sure that there is nobody that manipulates the blockchain. And that's the whole aspect of it in dealing with, just building everything and making sure everything works right. You say just like DeepSeek. No. This is not like DeepSeek. This is So DeepSeek is the AI stuff. Those are large language models. That's the technology with that. It's different than what a blockchain is. So the blockchain is that's a whole other topic. We'll get into that. I'm gonna do other classes and talking about the AI, because it is amazing how this AI stuff is going, and it's going to help. Like I said, we're going to be using AI to code out these smart contracts, and by the end of this course, you're going to basically be able to do things with the whole blockchain, and we're going to do some test contracts and do some deploying on the test network. So every network, well, I'm getting off. So let me stay focused on what we're doing, because I get to rolling deep in this stuff. But so back to the distributed blockchain. So like I said, the distribution aspect of it is that multiple people have this ledger, and it's downloaded on multiple people devices. They've done the necessary mining to get this data correct, to know what this nonce is, and every time someone has mined, you generate rewards based on the whole setup, basically. So, and the reward is generated or determined how the block is, or the different blockchains. So every blockchain has different, like basically consensus, or what they refer to as proof of works or proof of stake, or it's just a lot of different ones. Hold on, where is that? I had popped it
Like
up.
before, there.
Also, this another here. Check out this. So the person that made this right here, he also created a video and breaks it down. So some of y'all want to check out. That's some homework to do. And I'm gonna put this also in the Discord for everybody to go over this stuff. And also there's Cypherpunk. So I put both of those in there. So where is it? No, that's the other one. That's the new one. That's not it. All right, so it's so many different. I mean, it's ridiculous the different consensus. So like I said, this blockchain, how it was determined, how it was mined, the rules, the regulation is determined by consensus. So like I said, all these different people, computers, they mine this block. So that's why it's good. So now, say if something happened where this person did some manipulation and did this right here, as you can see, it messed up this whole block. So obviously that goes against the consensus of what this block, how it was developed. So these people, and they will know this. And one of the ways how everybody wants to be on task with the block and make sure that everything is right is because you get rewards. So this is where is it at again? Okay, so this right here, so proof of work. So it's proof of work, proof of stake, proof of authority, proof of capacity, proof of burn. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of these, it is out of my understanding. So we're gonna be learning a lot of these with each other. So it's a lot of different methods of how this works, and it's always constantly growing, because it's just the innovation of this technology. It helps out in so many different ways. So and you can manipulate it in so many different methods or whatever. Like, well, I'm gonna say manipulate it, or it can be. Well, yeah, that's basically what the consensus is. Is how you manipulate the data and how how you guys come to a agreement of how a block is going to be formed or determined. So like one of I'm setting up some stuff with this idea, but to give you an example, a consensus is simple. Like I'm pretty sure everybody on here knows how to play tag, it tag, or freeze tag, or hide and seek, and all that type of stuff. Now, imagine that when you're playing tag, every time someone is tagged, it creates a block. Now, like I said, a block consists of data, and in that data, it says that this person was tagged and now they're it. So now, let's say, okay, player one is it. So now we mine that. So we start out the game. This is the Genesis block, all right? So now the next person that gets it or whatever, and this is the thing about the blockchain, the data is what makes it in the consensus of how we agree. So say we're playing and I tag you and or I tag, let's see, player one tags player three, right? So player one tags, oh, I missed that part. Tag player three. Oh my God. All right. Player one tag player three. Now, how do we know this? Is because player two seen it. That's one part of data into it. And then we can go player 5, 6, and 7, 8, or whatever. Now these people all seen it. So boom. So now the next person that's tagged or whatever, and also inside the data you'll say new tag person is player, or new it is player 3. All right. So then boom. So now that's mine. So like I said, imagine you're playing a game and playing it tag or a hide and seek or whatever. Every time someone is and you keep a register of how many times you was tagged, how many times you was it, all that type of stuff. That is basically a block and you keeping a record. That's a block because you have the data, and the consensus is how the game is played. So in freeze tag, it's different than it tag. So if I'm in it tag and I tag you, I touch you, you're it. In freeze tag, if I see, I mean, in freeze tag, I can't remember. I'm so old, boy. So in freeze tag, how did we play freeze tag back in the day, man? So you freeze and you stuck or whatever, and then I guess it's the last person or whatever, or so many people or whatever, basically. But basically freeze tag, that's a different way. And then also hide and seek. So if instead of me touching you, the consensus of saying how a block is developed, I have to see you. You see what I'm saying? And that's what these different types of consensus mechanisms. It's the proof of stake. So a proof of stake deals with you have to buy the tokens. You have to buy the cryptocurrency. So I believe it was Ethereum when they first started out. You had to if you missed anything, I'm sorry, y'all. If I missed anything, and appreciate everybody from coming. If you missed anything, it's going to be uploaded on YouTube so you can follow along and everything like that. So but basically, yeah, so that's they agree. So that's what a consensus is. A consensus is basically they agree. And like I said, if you're playing tag, the consensus is understood that if I touch you, you're it. You see what I'm saying? So and also if I see you in hide and seek, you're it. So now imagine every time somebody was tagged, that made a block. So them making a block is the consensus is already understood, is agreeing on how the block is made. So that's just to give you a little small, and I'm gonna kind of do a video breaking down that concept and adding the other aspects of it, like the nonce and all that type of stuff like that. But basically, like I said, once the block is created, you mine every one of them. So now everyone has to mine, and the nonce and the mining aspect of it is the computer has to do the algorithm to figure out, okay, whatever nonce is created to basically manipulate this hash. So whatever the nonce is, if you, like I said, the nonce, if you change this nonce, it changes the hash. And you want to, when you're mining, you're trying to figure out what that nonce is. So that's what all these validators. So like I said, the distributed ledger is maintained by multiple nodes, quote unquote computers. These computers or trying to validate the transactions or the hash. So when a transaction is made on the blockchain, it's basically, and it's different ways. It might be not just one transaction. This person sent something to this person and all that type of stuff. It is in the block. So one block will have maybe multiple transactions in it. So let's go to the next port. So so you guys can see what that kind of breaks down. So now this next port right here breaks down the token. So now you see how the block was created. You see how it was distributed. All these periods, all these nodes, these computers, they all have the ledger on their computers. They did the mining to figure out the hash aspect of it, to do basically the algorithm to learn, or well, to solve the problem, and they got a reward. Now, this goes into the token, or the quote unquote the cryptocurrency. In order for a block to move, it has to have a cryptocurrency. A blockchain cannot move without a cryptocurrency because one, well, it can if it's other means of motivation or incentive, basically. But someone using their computer power to solve the equation of these hashes and these nonce, that's basically what they're they doing, and in order for them to do that, they're gonna need some kind of money or benefit or whatever. So now this right here is the same thing, but it's the tokens added to these blocks now, or this blockchain. So as you can see, it's the same setup. The block, the nonce, and then like I said, the nonce correlates with the hash or manipulates the hash, so a computer can figure out the nonce and solve it. And then this is the genesis block, so it has the hash of the previous hash is 0, so the genesis. But then it generates this data right here in this person, all these people money. So Dorsey sent this person, Benjali or whatever how you pronounce the name, $25. So these are transactions inside this one block. So like I said, let's go back to the first one. A block starts out with the hash or the quote unquote the data. And the data is the name, the number of the block, the nonce, the information, the data that it's saving, and that's all stored into this hash. And the hash is how the blockchain flows and reads things as well too, or how basically we read things and we can. That's how it's transparent as well too. So, and then you can see the whole block, and then as you keep going down, there's more data being added to it. Now that the data is the transaction, so it's money in here involved and everything like that, and every last one of these go along and follow along with the different or the same ledger. So, but it's the people different computers. So all these match the same basically because they're all part of the blockchain, and these are different ledgers. And as you can see, let me scroll down for all of them, make sure it's all lined up the right one. As you can see, block 5. See what it has. It only has 3 transactions. Dennis sent money to Edmund. Lord sent money to John. Catherine sent money to Missy. So that's what. And now some blocks may have more transactions than other. It depends on how they determine how the block should be ran. And like I said, there's multiple different ways of quote unquote consensus or quote unquote agreeing. So how the block is made and created and all that type of stuff. And the reward, all that type of stuff is created amongst the people. Now how a lot of these are created or means of creating DAOs. So these and governance DAOs or governance systems, how how a different block is ran and stuff like that. So also let's go a little bit more deep. So now, as you can see, this block right here, this blockchain right here, it just has the what they call it, the transactions and the people that sent the money. But the one thing you're gonna look at is like, okay, how do you know how much money these people have inside their wallets and stuff like that? And that's where the next one comes in with the Coinbase aspect of it. And a Coinbase is basically an exchange. So on the blockchain, all this information is already here, and it will have more than this information right here. This it will have more than the block, the nonce, the transactions and all that stuff. And the fact that so that's how basically it builds and stuff, but it will have more data than this little small stuff. But this is basically the main stuff of it and everything like that. But dealing with when you get onto an exchange, now this first block, it basically gave this person, the person that created this demo, it gave him $100 or whatever, and then excuse me, and then so now the person already has $100 or whatever, and then they gave him another $100 or whatever. So now when this person sends this money, as you can see, it has to match up with how much they have in their Coinbase wallet. So in the data section, how the blockchain work, how it has all this data and how it can transfer what you're doing from posting articles and pictures and videos and things like that. It adds the data on these blocks, and now the data can come out in different means, and there's different ways how the data is expressed in every block based on the different blockchains. So I wanted to make sure I point that out to y'all to give y'all a little bit of understanding. So this right here is Ethereum blockchain. So it's an Ethereum scanner. So, or quote unquote, an explorer. So every blockchain has an explorer basically. And so now let's go to this. I want to show you real quick. So close that. All right. So as you can see right here on Etherscan, it has basically you can type in a hash. See the hash? You type in a block, a token. That's basically a smart contract address, basically domain name, because they also have blockchain domains. You can type in any of that, and it will pop up the transactions, everything that has gone through with this blockchain, basically, or this token, block, hash, address, domain, and all of it is really just smart contracts on that blockchain. Forgive me, y'all. Mouth getting dry. Okay, so now let's go ahead and click. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. So this, as you can see, this part right here is the latest block. So this block was made 10 seconds ago. And the miner, the person that mined this, that got the money, was Titan Builder. So as you can see, this right here is that person's address. And you can actually go to that person's address, and you can see the transactions that person did. And you can, as you can see, the hash, transaction hash. You get into it and it breaks down even more details of what happened, the block it was created on. So this is how you can track certain things. So if someone like stole money, this is really how, when you see a lot of those things where people have ran off with all cryptocurrency and all this money and all that type of stuff, you really start to see, okay, it's certain, it's transparency to it, or it's like it's certain privacy to it, but it really can track you and everything you're doing if you keep using that same address or that same wallet, basically. So it's really like you really can't hide or steal or manipulate or do any kind of fraud on here, because everything is really kind of tracked when you're participating in it. So if you're trying to do things like building your community up, and then certain business ventures you're trying to, say if you and a couple people trying to come up and build some business together and all that type of stuff, y'all can basically build a business on a blockchain and have everything agreeing, and where y'all don't have to trust none one each other, but it still has a means of being trusted, because you all understand what this contract says, or what this smart, and you can put a real contract on as a smart contract. So now this smart contract is being moved and done in ways where the business would do things, but it's done automatically and it's transparent. Nobody, I don't got to worry about if the money, like say if you have, okay, this business generates this much money, and then the money is split and divided to the three owners or whatever. You don't have to worry if that money is going to be split and divided, because you know the smart contract is going to do it. It's on the blockchain. It can never be transferred. It can never be, well, it can be transferred if you, with the original count or whatever. So whoever made so when you're building when you're building any kind of smart contract, or you're deploying anything to a smart contract, you have to have an account on the blockchain. And that's everybody has an account. So when you create an account on here, so if you, I'm getting deep into stuff, but so I don't want to silence my MetaMask right now, but MetaMask. So MetaMask basically, and these are different wallets or whatever, but basically you create your account, and on any blockchain that you're on, let me just go ahead and do it real quick. Okay. Okay, so now say that any blockchain that you happen to join on. So this right here, MetaMask is a tool where you can create an account. And as you can see right here, this is the account that I created. And when you create an account, you can actually use this. Well, with MetaMask, you can do it with that, but you can basically create the same account on different networks or whatever. But it's kind of different sometimes depending on the network. So say if you want to be on Ethereum network, this right here is chainless. It has basically the setup, the EVM. So it's the virtual network, basically the virtual machine network coordinations, the chain ID and all that type of stuff for you to connect your wallet to the blockchain. So when you on the thing or whatever, you add a custom network or just add a network, or you can hit this right here and it will add these networks. So as you can see, say if I was on Ethereum, it pops up the Ethereum mainnet. Say if I went to the Polygon network, it's on a whole nother network. So, or a whole nother blockchain. And these are different blockchains basically. So, where was I with that? Oh yeah, so all right, so basically when you setting up everything like that, the I forgot, I lost track where I was going with this. But oh yeah. So yeah, we did the peer-to-peer architecture blockchain. Okay, okay. So yeah, so that's basically the whole aspect of how the blockchain or a blockchain works or how it's built and everything like that. The different aspects of it. It's a lot of little details, but it's a lot of you got to like every blockchain you have to dive into it so you can see. Oh yeah, that's why. So every blockchain, this one I was going to show you with the how this block is made and everything like that, how this block is set up and all the information on it. Every blockchain is different. So Ethereum it started out with proof of stake. So delegated proof of stake, delegates proof of stake is a consensus mechanism that allows for validation of block on block by using hold on. Blah blah. It's basically you staking tokens or cryptocurrency. So you have to buy 10,000 tokens or whatever. It's a certain limit that you have to buy as a staker or a validator. And when you stake these and they basically hold into your account, and as transactions are being made on the blockchain, it uses those as gas, and you if you solve it, you get that money back and more. So you basically profiting off of it. So that's how the proof of stake system works in the situation, and it switches up in multiple different instances because how a group so it's different blockchains. So how this blockchain might determine to use proof of stake in a sense, this one may not use it in the same way. So they both using proof of stake, but they use it variations where small little details may be different, you know. So, but like I said, this data port right here, that's what I was getting at. This right here is all what's in this block. So on this block, this right here is what's that? 200 something thousand. What's that? No, that's six. Oh, that's 2 million. Yeah, it's 2 million something. So that's number 2 million block on the Ethereum network. And as you can see, it has the block height, which basically is the number. And this right here, hold on, let me show you real quick. Yeah, there we go. And this is the block. Yeah. So this right here is all the data that was on a block. So the standard data, the block height, the block number and length of the blockchain in blocks on creation of the current block. The timestamp, as you can see, it has the status of it is finalized, the status, but then the timestamp, it tells you exactly when it happened and all that type of stuff. The transactions, you see the transaction, block purpose, and the epoch, so that's a whole nother aspect. It breaks down all these different transactions. So let's see, we gotta get deep into that. Number of transactions included within the block. See the address, let me see the gas fee. I don't want to even search. Let's not even get into that. Epoch. Now, like I said, every one of them they have different. Okay, so it's 126 transactions in that one, but then they're proposed on. So it don't tell you. Okay. Well, I don't know what the epoch. I have to look up what the epoch is, but basically it breaks down everything in this documentation. So this right here is the Ethereum website documentation, and it breaks down everything that's actually inside the data. So all the way down to, what the person made for basically solving this equation and earning this money. So the block reward, as you can see, block reward, the amount of ETH awarded to the validator who proposed the block. So as you can see right here, this is how much this person actually earned from that block. And then it's plus that and then minus a little gas or the burnt fee. So let's see how much they actually made from that one. So let's see, ETH calculator. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so they was rewarded $159 for solving that block. So this was the person that was rewarded for that block. Where was it? Yeah, Titan Builder. So Titan Builder, that was the person that was rewarded for that block. And that was how much they was made for doing this equation. And also this right here is the consensus information. So like I said, the consensus is way more deeper and way more information involved in a block than this this demonstration. But this right here gives you a breakdown of a example of how visually how you can see how a blockchain actually works and how it flows and stuff. And like I said, also how the example, like everybody knows how to play tag and freeze tag and all that type of stuff. So just imagine, like I said, every time a block was made, somebody was tagged. So and the people that actually seen the tag or the person that was actually tagged, that's actually data inside that block. You see, so then when the person actually is tagged, then it's the next game, the next person that's tagged, that's one block, then it's another block. So and so on and so forth. And every block, it has the data of the previous block that recognize, okay, like I said, when I was typing this in, but it changed or whatever. The previous block has this person. We remember this person was the person that got tagged. So it's basically just keeping track of the data, and that makes it the mutability. So if y'all remember, and everybody remember, you can't say, oh, no, you won that one, no, I won this one. It's like, okay, that's basically what a blockchain is. It's basically the mutability of it and then following along with the different data and information inside the blocks. So it's like a remembrance thing. But this the whole aspect of it on the computer side, so that's what the technical aspect of it. So like I said, in this course we learned what the hash was a little bit. So like I said, it's multiple different types of hash. So hash algorithms is a whole other thing. We'll get into that a little bit more. But so we learned about what a blockchain is, the digital ledger or the DLT aspect of it is basically the distribution of the different blocks. The block is just a data. There's a bunch of data basically, and it can be multitude. This is just Ethereum's data structure. So this is just one of them, and it's multiple different blockchains. So it's let me show you real quick that radar. So oh yeah, by chain. So yeah, so these right here. So it's so many different blockchains. The BNB network, consensus. I mean Ethereum, Polygon. I think BNB was some. Well, no, never mind. That's something else. Tron, Avalanche, Base, Solana. That's the real popular one. These are all different blockchains, and every last one of these blockchains have their own cryptocurrency, and they have what they refer to as dApps on there, like smart contracts and all that type of stuff. So it's just all kind of different. And like I said, all these different blockchains have different forms of consensus mechanisms. For one person to know all this stuff. I mean, it's amazing, but I doubt there is one person, because there's so many different, and it's growing so much right now. It's because a lot of people are trying to take this technology and put it into different real world use cases. So it has to grow and manipulate and be transferred to different industries. So it's a lot of different things that's moving, and a lot of different, and also it's this failure. So the aspect of all the different failures that people try to figure out and solve, this where it creates all these different consensus. So when we figure out, okay, and this right here, it didn't work the proof of work didn't work for maybe some dealing with the proof of stake, or it just a certain aspect of it that didn't work. So now we want to try this proof of stake, or we created this proof of burn, or we created proof of activity because these two or these four didn't work or whatever. Like or what they perceived it didn't work. And that's really what the blockchain. But it's a large community, and it's really, like I said, it's still a continuance of the cypherpunks and basically being activists against the government and running things and all that type of stuff, and basically giving the people the power in a sense. But this one thing that you want to, this part of the homework, so make sure y'all watch this right here, and then we gonna and also check out this blockchain demo so you can play around with that, so y'all can get a better understanding of how that works. And also, if y'all got any questions, I know, let me go through. Also, this is my first live stream, really kind of playing around with this stuff, and I got all these things rolling. So I want to, and also we got to get into this different types of database. So if you, I'm pretty sure everybody familiar with different database, or I won't say everybody familiar with it. So you're familiar with a database, how basically it's made to save things. So a database basically is basically storing data. So like I said, a block is basically storing data, but a centralized database is, it's the same thing, but it's basically somebody owns it. You know, one person owns it. It's a centralized power, and they control everything. So you really can't do anything and all that type of stuff. Yes, I will be saving it. So this will be posted on my YouTube. So if you click my bio link, you will see my YouTube page on there too. Um, no problem, Lindsay. Appreciate you for joining. Thank you everybody for being in here. Let me see these questions. Let me see what everybody asking stuff. And also, make sure y'all hit the Discord. And it's my first time doing this, so we gonna see how this work really with these lessons. And all right, so we all in the Discord. We got the, so when you come in the Discord, I gotta make a video about this. Go and hit the verify. This right here, open up. You should pop up in here in this section right here on this page, and then you hit verify. It'll pop up these other ones. So then when you come in here, it's going to give you a welcome, and you will see this right here. So you will be able to click on the introduction portal right here, and you can introduce yourself. Or if you basically get straight into the course, you hit that right there, and this kind of has the syllabus and all that stuff. And then the first class, you should be able to see it. So I got a bunch of other things set up. But if you basically, the assignment is this right here is the quiz, and then also the discussion. So we have the assignment, basically discussion: in what ways can decentralized benefit marginalized or underrepresented groups? What industries do you think stand to gain the most from adopting blockchain? So this is basically, do a little research, watch those videos I posted. I also added some up in here. The quiz right here, and basically what you want to do is just take this right here, you know, copy it, and if you come right here and you hit new post, you can say so and so, you know, your name, and you put homework. You know, I'm really not doing like real critiques of everybody work and things like that. I am going to be reading, seeing what everybody have, because it's just seeing, kind of participating and making this real as possible, and seeing everybody learn and getting this information and getting this knowledge in. And we're going to go over this more and stuff. But so then you just put that in there and you fill out the information, you know, 200 word. Then also answer the question, answer the quiz, and then you hit the I organize everything. So if you want to if you want to add some reading information in there, some resources. If you're doing a quiz, you hit the quiz one, and they also have the question and answer. So if you have a question and answer, you hit that one. These are different tags, so you know you have to put a tag on every one of them. But if you're doing the assignment, just gonna hit that assignment tag, so that way I can just look at this, you know, the assignment ones and things like that. But also, if you want to talk about tech and all that type of stuff, you can post it in here and everything like that. But that's how you basically do the assignments. So I have all of them for every setup. I'm setting them up for every one of them. But this is basically how you do your homework and all that type of stuff. So, all right, everybody. I feel like it was, I know I was going on a lot. I be rambling. I'm getting better at this, y'all. So, you know, I'm gonna take my time and kind of organize this a little bit more. But the next course, up to what's that, Thursday, I'm gonna talk about this, and also I'm gonna save this. All this is gonna be on my YouTube, and I'm gonna chop these up into little pieces, so you can take the information in little small pieces, so it can kind of digest better. And I'm gonna post them in on TikTok and all that type of stuff. So yeah, so it's the first one, y'all. I appreciate everybody for joining, and thank y'all for the Hillman talk. I got it. Also, man, I'm gonna put some of these, put a little Hillman talk logo in here, 'cause you know this, man. Y'all, man, we doing some things right now, y'all. We some amazing people. We really man, we really doing some great work. We just came together and made this out of nowhere. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. This is my first one. You know, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better. You know, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But also I was doing a lot of last meeting things and all that type of stuff. Yes, we are meeting on Thursday. So like I said, this is twice a week, 6 weeks. We're doing 12 lessons every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. That's the goal. And yeah, let's get it. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to put them in the Discord. Um, I'm not a Discord bully. You can do whatever you want in here. You know, long as it's of our people and ain't about, you know, you ain't disrespecting people and all that type of stuff. So it's, you know, I got a couple rules and things like that, little rules, basically just saying like no spamming, no, you know, don't be doing no crazy stuff. And, you know, we got home training, you know. I believe in my people. I know my people good. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about it, you know. We know how to act. You know what I'm saying? Go Panthers. Hillman talking here. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, and like I say, also introduce yourself. You know, in the Discord. You know, put some questions right here. Let's get some discussions going. That one question, how it can help our community. Yeah, this is kind of a little premature. It's kind of ahead of its time because I really ain't give y'all a little bit more detail of how everything kind of works. But it's gonna come, and you'll have more. So just put the information in there, watch it a little bit. Make sure y'all watch that cypherpunk so y'all can see, okay, this crypto grab stuff and how, you know, these people came together, and or just how this is going on still to this day, like in the world of coding or whatever, this type of stuff. So it's also what they call DEF CON. So DEF CON is another so out with computers and code, and it's everything. Like if you want to know what the people are doing crazy or whatever, you know, like in the tech world, or what's the latest weird stuff that's going on, what's the latest threat to anything that you're using, check out here, because you're gonna see a lot of different. They just basically break down how to hack stuff. You know, how that's what it's called. It's DEF CON. It's a conference. See if they got a little brief information about it. Yeah, but you know, special DEF CON YouTube conference. I really don't know the history about it, but I just be checking this out or whatever. But it's always been activists, people inside the just inside this coding community or just the developer community. So you know, this right here is for our people to kind of figure out what we want to do with this stuff. You know, so um, all the time zone was Central Time, so it's 7 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, my bad, my bad. I got to make sure I put that in the post in the future and stuff. But yeah, so whatever you can think about, like I said, that question in the Discord, the homework is where is it? The first lesson is in what ways can decentralization benefit marginalized or underrepresented groups? So, you know, this decentralization, like I said, we have a lot of issues in our communities where people take advantage of us. And, you know, what's that, what they call that, the Tesla real estate situation where that one dude ran off with a lot of money. And it's, you know, it's a bunch of people arguing about this stuff. And like when you have little systems like this where it's trustless, where you don't have to worry about, okay, if we say we're going to do this, if we understand the technology, we build the smart contracts, we put it on the blockchain, we build a website, we build all these different things to make sure everything works, and we have the smart contracts, everything is automated. Then you don't have to worry about somebody running off with the money and doing all kind of manipulative and treachery and all that type of stuff. So that's one way it can help us. But yeah, excuse me, you can come up with other ways with different things, how it's going to basically help our community and how it can help our community, you know. So but yeah, I'm gonna have this on YouTube. So this whole I'm recording this whole thing. So everything I'm gonna post this on YouTube probably like in the next hour or so. So you'll see it up on here. And then I'm gonna chop up some of these videos. So you know, and everybody, I appreciate y'all for being here. The top viewers, Randy Marie, appreciate you, appreciate you. Also the coins, appreciate you. I don't know who this other person is, but it's just Dot. So somebody named Dot. You been here viewing for you a top viewer. You number two. Monica, I appreciate you. You showing a lot of love in here. A lot of time you've been in here. Seven coins. Good looking out. A user 35141611. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Good looking out. Let's see. Carla Marie. Thank you. Thank you. Onya Solomon. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Just naming off a couple people. H.S. Williams. I think is that the I think is that the let me, I want to make sure. But thank you, H.S. Williams. I want to say that's the Dana Hillman talk. I'm not sure. I've been following y'all and trying to keep up with everything, and there's so much stuff that's going on. It's dope in the mug, this stuff, man. Nisha, Pink Drip 7, good looking out, good looking out. Yeah, appreciate all y'all. All y'all spending a lot of time in here, and y'all supporting. We gonna get this going, and yeah, by the end of this right here, y'all, like I said, y'all all gonna be able to create some amazing different things, and I'm gonna show y'all some dope stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna see y'all next. What's that? See y'all Thursday, next class. All right, 7 p.m. same time, same location. Yeah, let's get it. And then, like I said, the next one we're gonna be talking about how decentralized and centralized kind of works. But as you can see, decentralized basically mean nobody owns it, controls it. You know, centralized is they somebody own and control it. Like how on TikTok, they was able to shut TikTok down because there's two factors: Apple, Apple, and what's that? Android. That's one issue inside there because they are centralized powers where you have to use their app store to download their stuff. So that's a centralized power. If it was decentralized, that means they couldn't remove things or take things down because it would be on the blockchain. And once you put it on the blockchain, once you deploy it to the blockchain, it's just a matter of running that contract or accessing that, hitting that smart contract, and it's programmed automatically. So, you know, but that's something with the TikTok, it wouldn't have been able to take it out. And they have decentralized apps or social media platforms and things like that, you know. So that's basically what centralized is. Centralized database, they control it. One person, one authority controls it, and they determine what is on it and what's not on it. They can manipulate it, take things off. They can trick you, steal your money, do all kind of stuff. But on a decentralized, they can't do that. Anytime, any transaction, any movement of any resource or anything that's saved on the blockchain, when it's moved or transferred, there is a ledger that you can read and see whatever's going on and determine what's what and what's not. So that's the main thing about centralized and decentralized. So close that. That's my bad, y'all. Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be the next thing we talk about on here. Is the like I said, the difference between traditional database, centralized database, and blockchain database. Alrighty, y'all. Yeah, take it easy. Central Time, 7 p.m. Thursday. And also hit the link in the bio to get in the Discord and follow the YouTube to follow along with the video and the backup because I'm going to upload that on there. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Good night.